Actually, I like to deliver my video by to give you a real case study. So when you work with your customer, you will not discover any problem because I don't like to deliver to just give you a features. How can you use this feature? No, but I give you this feature in case study to understand and try to imagine if you work with customer how you can use this feature in part on our solution. So if you work as in part of your solution, if you're in client side or with your work with partner or vendor, so you try to explain how this feature work with you properly. So today our case will talk about centralized app configuration and security. So in our video, we try to create a robust and seekable application in distributed environment. So the solution use Azure App Configurations and Azure Key Vault to manage and store app configurations, setting and features flag and secure access setting in one place. So the architecture actually will go to my screen, but I will show you today the app configuration and Key Vault can work together to manage and secure app in development and Azure environment. So what does mean here for development environment in the development the development environment, the app use in an identity virtual studio or version 2 for Azure CLI to sign in and send authentication request to Azure Active Directory. So let's go together and try. I will share my screen to draw all the things, and I will give you a component how we can centralize that, how we can centralize app configuration and secure to mitigate or to work Azure configurations, app configuration with Azure Key Vault to work together to secure your app. So let's start with our solution and drawing our data flow. But before to talk about data flow, let's talk about our component. First one will be the Azure Active Directory. Okay, then the second one will be app configuration, and the last one will be a key vault. Okay, so here will be Azure Active Directory, and here will be app configuration there and key vault. So for Azure Active Directory, it will be a universal platform for managing and secure identity. Okay, and for app configuration will be provide a way to store configuration for your for all Azure app and hosting locations. Then the last one will be a key vault. We can add something here also. We have something called here called Azure Manage Service Identity, AMSI. It offers managing identity that provide an identity for application to use when connecting to resources that support Azure Active Directory. Okay, so this is our component. So if we try to drawing our applications here, as we mentioned, we have our identity here for let's draw like that. So we have deployment, the development environment, and we have here Visual Studio, and also as we mentioned we have Azure CLI version 2. So how we can the authentication working here and try to be step by step. So the first one will be here, try to working like that is here. Here, as you understand, there is application in Visual Studio. So the first one will be coming from Visual Studio or development environment to Active Directory as number one here. So first one will be the applications send an authentications request during debugging in Visual Studio or authentication via MSI in Azure. Then this will be second, will be the successful authentications. So the Azure Active Directory will be returned with access token. Then the third one, the applications here. Okay, the application. Okay. To application configurations is number 3. So the application configuration is the key. Send a request with the access token to read the app configuration key vault secret URL. So it will be secret URL value for app key vault. Then number 4 will back here again. Is number 4 will back here with successful authorization. So the app configuration here, send the configuration will be the send the configuration value. Number 5 is a key vault. Number 5 will be utilizing the sign-in identity. The app send request to a key vault. Here will be the send the request to key vault to retrieve the application secret for a secret URL. That app configuration send it. So number 6, don't worry, I will repeat all again with a proper architectures. So the number 6 will be the last data flow will be successful authorization, will be a key vault to return the secret key here. So if we try to just recap this one, as you see in the proper architecture here, so the first one will be the application. First point, the application send an authorization request during the debugging in Visual Studio or authentication via MSI in Azure. This is the first one. The second point will be successful authorization. So the Azure Active Directory will be return the access token. Number 3 will be between Visual Studio and app configurations. The app configuration is the key. Send a request with the access token to read the app configurations key vault, the secret URL value from for the key vault. Then, as you expect, we send 1 to retrieve 2. So you will send this one to retrieve 2. You send this one to retrieve 2. Then the number 4 will be successfully authorization. So app configuration, as you mentioned, for number 4 will be send the app configuration for a configuration value. So the number 5 will be send from utilizing the sign-in identity. Sign-in number 5 will be utilizing for sign-in identity. The app send request to key vault here to retrieve the application secret for a secret URL that app configuration send it. Then the last one will be number 6, will be a key vault returns the key, the secret key to here to development environment will be in Visual Studio. So this is just the data flow for our architecture. So, but we need some of details to talk about it. First one, this is a cloud-based applications. So it will be run on multiple VMs or containers in multiple regions and use multiple external services. So to creating a robust and discoverable application in distributed environment is a significant challenge actually. So by using application configuration here in our design, by using app configurations, you can manage and store all your apps configuration setting and features flag and secure access setting in one place. So the application configuration work seamlessly with a key vault, which store password and key and the secret for secure access. So if you see this architecture and you maybe try to, what is potential use case here? So any applications can use app configurations, but there is a, there is a type of application benefit most from it. So first one, we can work with microservices or serverless or app. So first one for microservice that are based on AKS. It's called Azure Kubernetes Service and Azure Service Fabric or other containers app. Then we have also, or second will be talk about the serverless app, which included Azure Functions or Azure Event Driver, a stateless compute app. And also for a potential use case here for apps that use a continuous deployment CD pipeline. But in our architecture here, there is, some consideration. So when you work on any project, as you know, we try to follow the CAF or Azure Well Architect. But here, if we try to consideration to implement the pillars of Azure Well Architect, maybe we can do a video, the difference between Azure Well Architect and the CAF, and when we shall use this one, and when we shall use Azure Well Architect. So let's back here. So this consideration implemented the pillars of Azure Well Architect framework, which is a setup guides. We can use it to improve the quality of workload. So we have two things here to be working in your customer in this scenario. For Key Vault, let's focus with Key Vault. So it's the best to use a different Key Vault for each application in each environment. So if you try to work with a governance, you have a different subscription. So we have deployment environment, we have Azure pre-productions and Azure production. So using different Key Vault will help you to prevent sharing secret across environment, and also we reduced the third in the event of breach. The second point also of features or consideration, you have to think about it, to use this scenario and the sign-in identity must have the app configurations, as you know. But what is the rule should be have here? So it will be the sign-in identity must have app configuration. It called data readers. Remember, the app configuration data readers rule in your app configuration resource, and also to have the explicit access policy for retrieving the secret in Key Vault. So these are our solutions. I hope it's useful in your real scenario, and I will maybe create more videos for Key Vault. It will be an interesting topic, and if you have any comment, please back to me anytime. Thank you.